Well, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how heavy I want to fucking go with this today. I I feel a little tight. Yesterday at the end of back day, I did my usual 3 sets of chest, just one exercise, just trying to again try to get that little bit extra chest. And I've been saying for about a month now that I need to consider backing off a little bit with that and just sticking to my 2 regularly scheduled chest days. And I just can't seem to do it because it's been working. And well, yesterday I went to do those 3 sets, and um, I was pretty tight, and I was actually gonna do pec deck. I ended up scrapping it and just doing a couple sets of bodyweight push-ups, and that tightness is still here. It has not gone away. So I mean, ideally, I would like to throw a 25 on, and I could probably get. I mean, I don't do this regularly enough to really even remember. But I think with 5.5 plates per side, I used to do like sets of 9 or 10, at least 8, I think. But with how tight my chest is, I mean, I'm not sure. Um, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let me try one. I'm gonna throw a 25 on. I'll try 1 set, and just solely based off how that goes and how it feels, I will determine the rest of this. At least here on this, how it's gonna go. Um, I just can't help myself, man. I wanna go, and you always want to do this. I want to go as heavy as I can within the desired rep range I'm shooting for. I don't want to sell myself short in a sense, because then am I really challenging myself enough? Am I, you know? And so I like to describe it like you got to send signals, and well, let's just say it like this: you got to send signals to your body to give it a reason to grow and get bigger and stronger. So if you're constantly selling yourself short on, say you're shooting for a set of 10, but you pick a weight where you can actually probably do 14 or 15, but you continuously just stop at 10. You're just doing sets of 10. I mean, try to make that logic make sense in your head. Are you really going to grow from that? I mean, maybe at first if you're a newbie, just from pushing weight, but that is not going to be a long term, and even for most people, even a short term solution to putting muscle on and getting stronger. Well, I mean, you could, let me say, just to putting muscle on, because you can get stronger in spurts training like that. But if you're trying to put muscle on, that is not the most optimal way to do it. Again, there are spurts where maybe you should do that, but generally, as a long term solution, that is not how you want to go about things. So, anyways, let me throw this 25 on. I'm going to go right into the first set. And again, that'll tell me what I need to do and what I should do for the rest of this session here. All right, let me make quick light work of this weight right here, right? Nothing but just a stroll to the park right here. And then I'll throw on, you know, 2 more 45s per side, and that'll be the real weight. How many was that? It felt like at least, and I might be going out on a limb here, but at least 100, if not 99, right? I think so. So yeah, let me throw on two more 45s and do the next one. I mean, really, that actually felt pretty good, surprisingly. I did at least 9. Maybe maybe let's take 1 9 off. So rather than 99, I did at least 9, if not 10. That's pretty good. Um, I'm gonna stick with it. Let's do 2 more sets and fucking. Thankfully, my chest is not. Maybe I wasn't fully warmed up, but it doesn't feel as tight. Now, let me get back to you guys after 4 more sets here. I might already be pretty pumped up and pretty much ready to check the pump, even though I won't. But you guys know, um, all this added chest volume has just annihilated my chest, which has been the sole purpose and goal of doing it. But one of the downsides is on my on my designated chest days, like a Monday and Thursday, I get 5 sets in and I'm pretty much done. I could stop right there and one could even argue maybe I should, but you know, I like to do at least 9 or 10 sets on a regularly scheduled chest day. But anyways, what was I saying? I was trying to make an overarching point. It's gone now. Fuck it, it's gone. So let's just do 2 more with this weight, and then I'll maybe go down to. Well, let me just do 2 more. I don't know why I always do that. I get a little too ahead of myself, and then I realize why don't I just do the 2 more sets with this heavier weight and then figure out what to back down. I don't know, man. Fuck it. I'm just rambling at this point. Let's do 2 more. God damn it. Wow, this is going surprisingly well. Who would have thought? I mean, but I didn't know. I haven't used this machine in months. So anytime there's an element of the unknown, it could go either way very quickly. And I think I did 10 there, which is one more. Well, don't quote me on that, or you know, don't don't fucking etch that in stone just yet, because I'm always fucking wrong. But I think I did 10. What I do, there's a difference I've noticed, at least from what I remember. The last time I would do this, maybe let's say regularly, this machine that being, I was pushing the weight just for the sake of pushing heavy weight. Was my chest necessarily the driving force behind that? I would say most of the time probably not. Until maybe I lighten the load a little bit. But I feel here, and this is a testament to this change in mindset that I've had and the approach. And I guess my chest is getting stronger and able to be the driving factor with this same weight where it wasn't, 6+ months ago, let's say. Because I can feel it, man. It's just, I can really control it and I'm really engaging my chest, which is, I mean, obviously, duh, what you want to fucking do. But what someone wants to do and what they actually do, you know, that tends to differ more times than not. Even if you think you're achieving what you're trying to achieve, I go back and look now here, and I'm like, the feeling, the difference between now what I feel in my chest, even with this heavy weight, like I said, to prior when I did this, it is totally different. So um, that's awesome. So I'm gonna do one more, and then see what the back down sets will be. All right, that was going well until it wasn't. To put it simply, I think I got a little too arrogant. Um, on like the sixth or seventh, I was pretty confident. I had 9 in the bag again, and you see, this is what I always say this, but it's true. The weights have a good way of humbling you. The second you think you got it, and you get just a little bit too cocky or arrogant, they will put you in your place. And you would think I would fucking learn after all the times this happened to me, but I don't. That's part of my problem. I could feel it, okay? I can feel it. I'm getting harder by the second. And if I play my cards right on these next 2 sets, it's going to be the icing on the cake, right? It's going to fill me up with blood, get me pumped up that much more. That's why I like doing this, man. If you have a trouble, if you have trouble kind of, let's just say, finding your footing with, well, let's just keep it to pressing. If you're having trouble kind of finding that balance of how heavy should I go without going too heavy and then not being too light, this has helped. It's helped me a lot, really. Doing 3 kind of heavier sets, and this is where let me set up. This is where you can afford to kind of, if you want, if you're a little more focused on strength, you can afford to go a little on the even on the heavier side. I do a heavy set of like 8 to 10 usually on my heavy sets. Um, but since I'm pairing it with a 2 back down sets where I go pretty light, and it's usually a rep range of like 15. Again, you can afford to go even heavier. So if you want to do a heavy set of 6, 5, I mean you can, and then those 2 additional back down sets will make up for all the volume that you didn't quite get because you went a little heavier. So I don't know. It's a good. It does kind of limit how much variety you get because if you're doing 5 sets of pressing from the start, you know, unless you're just training chest once a week, how much more are you going to be able to do after that? It's a good question. Depends on the person and the circumstances, but um, anyways, let me do this. All right, that was honestly just a touch heavier than expected, but it's fine. I did 13 and a half. Let me do one more. All right. Whoa. It's kind of hard to even raise my fucking arms. That's when you know, if nothing else, you push yourself. Now, whether or not you push yourself maybe a little too far. You know what? Fuck it. I'd rather push myself just a touch too far than not far enough. That's my approach, anyways. I don't want to walk out of here, feeling like I left something. You know what I mean? I want to walk out of here basically with the tank on E. Within reason, I don't want to fucking kill myself, but enough that, like I said, the tank's on E, but it's recoverable. I can go home, get some rest, get some good sleep, and then get right back at it the next day. I know that's kind of very simplistic, and putting it very plainly, there's a lot more to it than that, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Just fucking push yourself, man. That's one of the main things. If you're pushing yourself hard in here, you're going to see some results. Bottom line. All right, I'm going to modify this to hit the lower chest. I've already hit the mid with the 5 sets of flat and the drop set. So, typically I would do decline bench, but I still don't feel comfortable and like my lower back's ready. Really, probably even for another couple, if not 3 or 4 weeks. So, the modified pec deck it is. Um, Now, this is, I always say, like what I just said, hit flat bench or hit mid chest. But if you're contracting the muscle right, and again, to be specific, we're talking about chest here. If you contract it right, you're going to hit the whole pec. Now, is it going to hit a little more mid, doing a flat press or a flat fly? Yes. But if you contract it and you have that good mind muscle connection, you're going to hit the whole pec. You know, just like with me, bringing my ass out a little further on the seat here, it's going to hit a little more lower chest. But if I squeeze right, it's going to hit the whole thing. But, anyways, 3 sets here. All right, I think I'm gonna go pretty light on this drop set actually. Woo, that fucked me up. Did I happen to mention all this extra chest volume that I've been doing is working? Have I mentioned that? Because it fucking is, man. I've only done 8 sets. Granted, 8 sets with 2 drop sets at the very end of each exercise. But, you know, 8 sets used to be just a little over halfway done for me on a chest day. Now, it is, I mean, I could stop right now and I would say it was a good chest day. I'm not going to. I'm going to throw in a little upper chest, probably to finish. This will be the last thing that I do. But it goes to show kind of, splitting everything up. Not everything, splitting my chest up and kind of sprinkling it in more throughout the week. So 3 or 4 days throughout the week rather than just 2 days. And I bunch all of it in just 2 days. Is having a pretty extreme effect. Again, another thing, kind of granted that I've been doing it for 3 or 4 months now. So I think it's run its course. It really has. And I've been saying this for weeks now. But me being the stubborn motherfucker that I am, I really just wanted to push it as far as I could, and I think I'm there. I think I'm there. All right. That chest press machine that I started with felt really good today. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with it. It does not always feel like that. It sometimes can feel, I don't know, it's just like the mind-muscle connection with my chest isn't quite, it's there, but it's not feeling like it should. And maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe some days I come in here and I think I'm engaging like I should, and I'm not. But today, it felt really good. So, and then the pec deck, the incline dumbbell flies, everything after, felt really good, man. So I am eager to check this pump out. So, what do you say we do it before my light falls down? Because it's trying to. All right, it turns out my microphone is on now. So, actually, I think it just died. So, you guys probably can't hear me very good. But to wrap it up, good workout, good pump. I really like what I saw, what I felt. My lower back's still messing with me, but it's taking longer than I thought it would, unfortunately. But it's slowly getting better, so that's all I can really ask for. It's not getting worse. So, hey, I'm not trying to complain too much. But that's it. Tomorrow I'll be back in biceps, and until then, I'll see you guys then.